What are the most common reasons for children, teenagers, adults to act violently?
I think that children, teenagers, adults act violently when they are in a situation where they get upset about something and they don't know how else to act. And I also think that people, children, teenagers, adults who are excluded or left out tend to, or people who don't properly manifest their emotions, they keep a hold of them and don't let them out in any kind of productive way, tend to suddenly act violent when they're in a situation where this comes to a head.
Okay. Why do people decide to solve their problems with the use of violence?
I honestly think that they don't know any better. I don't think they've ever been taught how to handle problems any other way than to act violently, because if you've learned any kind of control or other method of solving problems, then you wouldn't use violence.
How can we prevent aggression?
I think it all boils down to teaching children at a young age how to control emotions and how to react to problems without doing it in a violent way.
Where to find help if someone becomes a victim of violence?
Well, it depends. I think immediately once you become a victim of violence, you go to the police, right? But otherwise, I think people are deeply hurt by violence a lot of the time and have to go to psychologists and other places because it can be very dangerous to somebody's mental health as well as their physical health.
Okay. How do parents react when they find out about their children behaving aggressively?
I think that parents automatically get worried when their children behave aggressively, because that means that their child will most likely continue with the behavior if it isn't checked. And I think that parents deal with it one of two ways. They either try to get their kid help and they worry about it and they try to fix it in a nonviolent way, or they act violently as well, which can make one of two things happen. The kid sees violence from another person, gets scared and stops doing it, or they just react with more violence, which in most cases this is what happens. And so you have to do it in a nonviolent way and get help for your kid somehow, or show them how to release their anger in some other productive way.
Okay. Are there any workshops on coping with violence available?
I don't know of any here, but I know that in the States you can do anger management programs and things like this, and that guidance counselors and school psychological staff usually helps with this sort of thing. And if the kid is so violent that they can't do anything with them, they send them to some sort of reform center and they get the motivation that they need.
Are people taught how to cope with the causes of aggression, emotions, healthy lifestyle?